What's going on, everybody? It is Chris from Everyday Christian. Yeah, I turned my head and figured I'd just switch it up a little bit. Not the point. We're going over Genesis chapter 18 today. Interesting one. And I really like this one, just like all the other chapters. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Anyway, here we go. The Lord appeared again to Abraham near the oak grove belonging to Mamre. Mamre, M-A-M-R-E, or is it Mamre? I'm not 100% sure. One day, Abraham was sitting at the entrance of his tent during the hottest part of the day. He looked up and noticed three men standing nearby. Okay, I can imagine it's just kind of like me sitting on my front porch. Then he said, I'm sorry, that when he saw them, he ran to them and welcomed them, bowing low to the ground. I don't know if this is how customary it was back in the day. If I saw three dudes, I'd be like, and that's basically it. My Lord, he said, if it pleases you, stop here for a while, rest in the shade of this tree while water is brought to wash your feet. Very nice of him. And since you've honored your servant with this visit, let me prepare some food to refresh you before you continue on your journey. Okay. All right, they said, do as you have said. So Abraham ran back to the tent and said to Sarah, hurry, get 3 large measures of your best flour, knead it into dough, and bake some bread. Then Abraham ran out to the herd and chose a tender calf and gave it to his servant who quickly prepared it. When the food was ready, Abraham took some yogurt and milk and the roasted meat, so he had to put it over fire, roasted meat, and served it to the men. As they ate, Abraham waited on them in the shade of the trees. What was this, like 2 hours? Like, oh yeah, kick back, relax, take some, shade in the trees, whatever the case. Yo, sir, I got some dudes out here. They're our servants. They're our guests. Make some bread, and wherever ran out to the herd, chose a calf, like, you come with me. We're gonna butcher you up, and we're gonna, make some good meat. I don't know, but that's like 2 hours. Like, oh yeah, hey, come on, stop by for a minute, and then 2 hours later, like, hey, we have food. Not the point. Things of in America, that's not how we do things. I don't know how they are the rest of the part of the world. Anyway, as they ate, Abraham waited on them in the shade of the trees. Where's Sarah, your wife? The visitors asked. She's inside the tent, Abraham replied. Then one of them said, I will return to you about this time next year, and your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah was listening to the conversation from the tent. Abraham and Sarah were both very old at this time, and Sarah was long past the age of having children. So Sarah slightly laughed silently to herself and said, how could a worn-out woman like me enjoy such pleasure, especially when my master, my husband, is so old? The Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh? Why did she say, can an old woman like me have a baby? Is there anything too hard for the Lord? I will return this time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she denied it, saying, I didn't laugh. But the Lord said, no, you did laugh. Trying to hide from anything from God. Good luck. It's not going to happen. When the man got up from their meal and looked out towards Then the men got up from their meal and looked out towards Sodom. As they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. Should I hide my plan from Abraham? The Lord asked. For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and families to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Then I will do for Abraham all I have promised. Right? He's going to be great and mighty nations, plentiful people, descendants, generation to generation. So the Lord told Abraham, I've heard a great outcry from Sodom and Gomorrah because of their sin is so flagrant. It doesn't say, because they're sinning. No, because their sin is so flagrant. I am going down to see if their actions are as wicked as I have heard. If not, I want to know. So the other men turned and headed toward Sodom, but the Lord remained with Abraham. Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living in that city. Will you still sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes? Surely you wouldn't do such a thing, destroying the righteous among all of the wicked. Why, you would be treating the righteous and the wicked exactly the same. Surely you wouldn't do that. Should not the judge of all the earth do what is right? Why is Abraham telling him all this? Well, remember, Lot is down toward that area. That's his cousin. The Lord replied, if I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the entire city for their sake. Then Abraham spoke again. And he's thinking, his mind is like, dude, I'm going to get this right. Okay. Since I have begun, let me speak a little further to my Lord, even though I am but dust and ashes. I like how he's taking himself, like, I'm down here, I'm nothing, but thank you for hearing me. Suppose that there's 45 righteous people rather than 50. Will you destroy the whole city for the lack of 5? The Lord said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 righteous people. Abraham pressed a little further. Okay. 40? Suppose there's only 40. And the Lord replied, I will not destroy it for the sake of 40. All right. Please don't be angry, my Lord. Let me speak. Suppose there's only 30 righteous in the city. Maybe there's only 30 righteous people that can be found. And then the Lord replied, I will not destroy it if there is only 30. And the Lord obviously knows what's going on. And so he's like, yeah, that sounds good. I like this. This is good thinking, right? Then Abraham said, all right. Since I have dared to speak to the Lord, let me continue. Suppose there's only 20. Then the Lord replied, he's like, all right. Then I will not destroy it if they're for the sake of 20. Finally, Abraham said, Lord, please do not be angry with me if I speak one more time. Suppose only 10 are found there. And the Lord replied, then I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. It was that easy. When the Lord had finished his conversation with Abraham, he went on his way and Abraham returned to his tent. That is the end of the chapter. And so, as you can see, Abraham he's like, dude, I've got Lot down there. I don't know how many people are like, righteous. So he started at 50. He was like, 45, 30. It's kind of the opposite of an auctioneer. Hey, 50 going over here, 45, 40, 30 over here. So I probably butchered all of that up. But he's walking him down. He's like, trying to help my cousin. Nephew is what it is. But I got some people down there that are relation to me, so please try to help them out. I don't know why he didn't say, hey, I have Lot down there. Can we just help Lot out and get his family out, or whatever the case? Couldn't tell you why he did that. But the Lord he's like, yeah, hey, look, Abraham, I think you're on the right track. Yep, 45, no problem. 30, no problem. 20, no problem. 10, not a problem. I'm with you, kiddo. Let's go do this. And so I just think it's the dynamics of Abraham and God. Just, hey, sir, I got a couple questions for you. And God was more than happy to talk with him. And I think that's a very, very cool thing. End of chapter 18 of Genesis. That's all I got. Until next time. Be cool to each other. Stay safe. Be blessed.